No, I don't think so. This email from Paul Williams. Simon and Mark, I'm now listening to the show with bated breath. I am the director of the movie London to Brighton.
Oh, so Paul Andrew Williams.
Yes. I have been waiting all my career for a review from the man himself. Is he going to? Of course it is, if it's going to be a stinker. Should Paul Andrew Williams, director of London to Brighton, stay with us till 4?
Well, shall I blow the gaff, or shall I do it now?
No, I think we should just leave him in suspense.
I think he should be left in... what did you just say?
Suspense. Anyway,
Paul
Andrew Williams has been waiting for ages for your review.
Okay.
Is it any good?
So the story is, at the very, very beginning, we're introduced to these two characters, a young girl and a middle-aged woman. The young girl is terrified. The middle-aged woman has obviously been horribly battered, and they have to get out of London to go to Brighton. They are being chased by people, we are not sure whom. It then turns out, in flashback, that there's an incredibly grim story about how they got here. The young woman is a prostitute who has been roped in to recruit this young girl for absolutely hideous, nefarious ends. Somebody has ended up dead, and they are on the run from it, and they go to Brighton being pursued by nasty people. Now, it's interesting because it's a British crime thriller, but it is much closer to Mike Leigh than it is to Lock, Stock. I mean, there's nothing Larry or larky or fun or engaging about the villains. They're just pathetic, nasty, sleazy people. And I have to say, it is a tough film. It is also a very accomplished piece of work. And I say that because to say I enjoyed it would be wrong, but I definitely suffered in it in a way that one ought to. One of the most impressive things about it is that Lorraine Stanley, who's the very tough working girl figure in a minute, we're introduced to her in a way which allows us to know her much more than you would think from the dialogue. The thing I was reminded of was there's a Pat Barker novel called Blow Your House Down, which is about the lives of prostitutes in a sort of circumstance which is kind of vaguely similar to the Yorkshire Ripper environment. And it's a really brilliant novel because you really do meet these people as people. The fact that they are working women, they are women first, and they are, the work they do is very, very secondary. And it's very hard to get that right, particularly in cinema. And I felt this did do that. It also has a very strong performance from this young actress, Georgia Groom, who I've not seen before. Apparently her previous experience includes being a live reporter on John Craven's Newsround. And there's real talent there. There is real... there is a purpose to it. I mean, it is a film about homelessness. It is a film about the extreme degradation of people in circumstances of poverty. And it is incredibly gruelling. And despite the fact it's actually visually fairly discreet, it's a very tough ride. I know a couple of people who think it is the very best British film they've seen all year. I think it's a very fine and admirable piece of work. And as I said, I would be lying if I said I enjoyed it. And in fact, I think one of the problems it's got is that I found it so tough, not just the subject matter, but the way in which it dealt with the subject matter is so tough that it's a hard ride. But there is a purpose to it, and it does move towards something which is vaguely uplifting. And I think it is to be admired for taking those people in that absolutely marginalised circumstances and treating them as people first and their circumstances secondly. And when I compare somebody's work to Pat Barker, I don't say that lightly.